Welcome back to Girl Talk. This is our final segment, and we're filming here at Bella Domicile on Nesbitt Road, and we love being here. Everything is beautiful, kitchens, baths, all sorts of creative ideas, but we're going to talk a little bit more serious subject here on a phrase called aging in place, and with us to help break that down a little bit is lead designer here at Bella Domicile, Dondi Zombat-Falvey. Dondi, thanks for having us here.
Thanks, Janet.
Yeah. We love being here. As I said, it's always beautiful, it's very welcoming, and you have snacks.
That does help, doesn't it?
Yeah. Doesn't help our waistline, but we do love them anyway.
Snacks do help, for sure.
So this phrase, this term called aging in place, what is that, and when do people start coming to you about that?
Sure, it's, you know, that phrase is bantied around a lot, and aging in place, there's a lot of overlap between, there's ADA standards, those are more for commercial buildings that say, you know, you have to be able to ramp up to get into a building. There's also something called universal design, which means let's make the design so that everyone can use it. It's not really a special thing, but aging in place just refers to thinking about people in their homes, and obviously with the cost of care, you know, after when people are going into nursing or assisted living care facilities, it's a very expensive proposition.
Absolutely.
And also people just feel the comfort of being in their home. So it's taking a look at a lot of little aspects of the home so that people can live there as long as they possibly can. That's what aging in place is.
I think that's so great for folks of us who have, you know, aging parents and grandparents. That's something that's top of mind, is basically how long can they stay in their own home, get that longevity out of the space that they love. Let's talk about some design considerations for, say, the kitchen, for example. What can we do to kind of help us stay in the home longer and longer?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I think it's important to consider these things, even like I just did a kitchen for a younger couple, they have younger kids, but the grandma comes over quite often.
That's a really interesting point.
And so there are some cultures where the families come to visit for like 3 months. Okay, so it's really important to understand the client that you're dealing with and the things that are important to them. In this particular case, one of the things that we did in the kitchen was we set the seating. They had an island, but we did the seating at table height. Okay, because it's difficult for a person maybe with mobility challenges to get up into a stool. Like we're sitting in a stool that would be at a raised counter, but if you you know, look at our table there, it's very easy, or it's much easier for someone either in a wheelchair to use that table or to get in and out of a chair. But other things that I would be thinking about is I'm asking, what about mobility issues? Do they have trouble reaching? We might need to put the dishes and the things that they're using every day at a lower height, possibly in a drawer. It could be something as simple as having color contrast. If somebody has issues with visibility, then we're picking high contrast colors like between the cabinets and the countertops to help them with that.
And perhaps lighting. You just made me think about lighting.
Absolutely, lighting
This is why they come to you, because these are things that I would never even think about to make life easier for someone.
And sometimes you don't think about when you buy the home, and then later you need to go and make some adjustments, but you may not, you know, think of all the aspects as you're doing it like that. So
exactly.
Really smart,
Well, I really love this theory, kind of like growing with your home. Touching on the kitchen, sticking with the kitchen, are there certain appliances that you suggest for growing with your home?
Yeah, interestingly enough, some things to consider would be if you use the microwave a lot. You know, not everybody's going to be in a wheelchair, but they may not be able to reach high and low. So there are microwaves that would be in a base cabinet. There are microwaves that are in a drawer. Another area is just the oven. So instead of having a range, you know, you have to bend down, you know, when everybody's getting the turkey out of their oven next week. You got to bend down, and then you've got to do the clean and jerk to get the turkey up. So having a wall oven,
My coordination.
having a wall oven, it's right in their wheelhouse. Okay, there are actually ovens that open. The doors open kind of like cafe doors too, so that, you know, that can be a consideration as well. So having the oven up higher, it's a safer moving things around. But even, you know, moving hot water from the range to the sink, you know, those are all things that we can consider when we're when we're planning for the kitchen.
And some of those easy fixes would probably be nice for anybody, regardless of age.
I'm just saying, I would love to hide my microwave in a cabinet.
Yeah, really good tip.
And that's what universal design is all about. You can be you can be planning ahead and thinking about the people that are using the space, and it can be designed for long-term use.
And enjoy it now, too. Yeah.
Imagine we could talk even more about kitchens, but let's touch on bathrooms.
Sure.
What are some suggestions and ideas?
So what's important in a bathroom for aging in place is making sure, like one consideration might be in the shower, getting in and out of a tub. Stepping over a tub is sometimes an issue, so having a shower and having a low threshold shower. Typical shower has a 3 or 4 inch curb on it, but we can actually do a 0 threshold. We could design a shower so that there's no door, so if somebody was in a wheelchair, they could just wheel right in. But having grab bars, that's also important, but it doesn't have to look institutional. So there are beautiful grab bars that people think are like pieces of art almost. So those are things that can be incorporated if you're a couple in your 20s, 30s, and 40s, or 50s, or 60s. Why, you can have a beautiful piece of art and it's still functional, and it doesn't just have to be industrial.
I really love that. I hadn't thought about that. I did think about grab bars right away, and you're right. It gives you that sort of institutional look. So I hadn't even thought about them being aesthetically artistic.
Absolutely.
So that's wonderful. Love that idea.
Yeah, I think that's really important when we're talking about these kinds of things, because we come here and we see all these, aesthetically pleasing things and things that we want for our homes. But when talking about safety, you don't think that you can have both.
Yes.
So I appreciate the examples, because it's really nice for folks at home too to know that they can have it both ways.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to have to wrap up for today. Thank you so much for chatting with us about that. Really good ideas, good topics. If you've missed part of any segments or you'd like to see them again, remember you can check us out on YouTube. Thanks to Dondi, thanks to all of our guests today. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on Girl Talk.